The last couple days I've had were pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. A little tired because I was working, but just the experience of what transpired. I don't like to get too much depth into too deep of details, because I mean, I kind of like to keep my private life private, but I'm also sharing on my channel and YouTube. But I want to share these stories, my life experiences, just as a mean to help other people see a different perspective, and to share in that, because sharing, I think, some of my realities and the way I've healed my journey, my process is, I think it's key for other people to step into their own realizations. Because, I'm never going to try to force feed my opinions or my perspectives onto anyone. But I do want to be an example of what's true to me. And what's true to me is living out my life in truth and spirit. And so, I ended up working this weekend. I was put in a spot where, I was called to be a light in a dark place, and being in this area, and just showing up authentically, and moving like Christ in a way where you're expressing like the gentleness, and the joy and the peace, and being warm to people, and really just not being over the top, but just being you. But the energy that's associated, I'll tell you, I had two people, more than two or three people, throughout the course of the week, and that just man, I really like your vibe. The word, I like your vibe, I like your, and I wasn't, I wasn't doing much. I was just being me. And a part of what happened, I was just I received a lot of small kind gestures and even gifts over this weekend. And it's nothing extravagant, but it was just it was like this harmonious display of exchange of, showing up and being of service, and while giving, also seeing the receiving end of what service is and what giving is, when you're giving from a heart that has a pure intention. And I mean giving, giving good energy, giving love, and showing up for people that, maybe they don't get that all the time. But it was amazing, to say the least, and just that experience alone, it was it showed something to me. And check out my new hoodie. It says, "Walk by faith, not by sight." And I'm gonna give you a story about this hoodie. And it's funny because, as I said that, a little bird flew. He's on the branch. I should probably, no way. But so, before working this weekend gig that I had, I was like, man, I wanted to, because I have hoodies, right? I don't necessarily need one, but I wanted one with a zipper. And this has happened a few times in my life where I'm thinking about something that I'm wanting, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna go to the store, and I'm gonna find it. It doesn't really happen right away, but I set that. I'm like, I need this, And I set my intentions. I'm gonna, I'm never expecting to find it, but it's like, okay, I need this. I know I want it. I know I'm gonna put it into use. And so I was like, okay, like, man, I just want to find a nice zip-up hoodie. That's all I wanted. Really, I didn't really expect what brand, what color. I was just looking for a zip-up hoodie, right? But before this, I was thinking about it, and I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And lo and behold, I go into the store, and I'm like looking through all the clothing racks where they got the jackets and stuff, and they didn't have any zip-up hoodies, right? And I'm going, and I'm looking, and then I find this hoodie, and I was like, oh wow. Because to me it really started to make sense when when you walk by faith and not by sight. Because when you believe in something so much, like so much, where it's you know it's your truth, it's manifest. And the way that this hoodie manifested into my life is just the signs of Holy Spirit, the signs of God working his hands in my life is just like, is wow. And so I go to the store, I'm looking through the racks, and this is the only one when I see it, it's like, wow. Because it's like, it was a reminder. And this is all, it says this on the front right here, and it has it on the back. And I was like, that is the hoodie. And so I'm sharing this just to let you guys know, like, really put your whole heart, put your whole mind into the faith, into the belief that is resting here within your heart. And that stems from the Holy Spirit, stems from Christ. It stems from believing in the things unseen, not seen, and believing in the things hoped for, I should say. Man, trust it. Trust it. There's a process that we'll talk about. Definitely we'll get into it. But this is a reminder. I just wanted to share this, hop on here. I'm about to go get some groceries, and I was just like, man, what a perfect time to record this video and share it with you guys. And if you're struggling out there, we have to take every thought captive. Because if we're constantly in a mode, in a means of self-doubt and just doubting and not believing and stressing out about our circumstances, this is where we really are challenged, because we're called to not fear, because perfect love casts out fear. And so when you're moving in a way where you're applying that love into your everyday life, you walk by faith, and you're not trying to control things that you're seeing, because you know, like, God's going to bless you. He's blessing you with life and this existence. And so when you get past, the doubt of what the world wants you to be like. So when you're conforming to the patterns of the world, yeah, you're gonna doubt, you're gonna stress. But if you're not of the world, and you're renewing your mind, and you're walking in this faith, like this is how Christ walked on water. This is, and it's like calling you to have that faith too, especially in this time. And maybe you don't see it right away, manifest right away in your everyday life, but you'll start to notice, because it's a challenge, man. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, this is just magic. You just gotta believe, because every day it's it's a spiritual battle, you know, but you got to equip yourself with that spiritual armor. And so as you go through your progressions in your walking life, and you build up more like XP, more experience points, and you begin to have this neuroplasticity within yourself, where you're molding your brain from the old patterns and shifting it into this, you know, this abundance of faith. Man, like, it, you see the signs right in front of you. And I'm a testament. This definitely, this hoodie right here is proof that to me. You know what I mean? And I'm just sharing that. You could be like, oh yeah, you probably bought that. No, I walked into the store, you know, a day, 2 days before, and I was like, I really want to get a zip-up hoodie. I really want to get a zip-up hoodie. And then, you know, 2 days passed, and I was like, oh, I want to check the store to get the zip-up hoodie. Go in, and then there's no other zip-up hoodies except for this one. Only one in the store. And it says, walk by faith and not by sight. But yeah, I know this is kind of like impromptu, but this is my phone ran out of memory. But I was already concluding the message at that point already. So yeah, I just didn't want it to abruptly cut, so I'll have to edit this and add it in there. But man, may peace be upon you guys as always. You know, we're really stepping into this higher calling of understanding and wisdom, and the works that you're about to do are going to be greater. Like, Christ is really rising and resurrecting within you. So just know you're on the right track. God bless you guys. Talk soon.